Tear out your Oculuses and start vibing with the PSVR Life podcast. My name is Schleiss, and I'm here with Danthal. How are you doing today?
I'm great, man. I'm great. Episode number 4 of the PSVR Life podcast. Enjoying it. I'm glad that we're here again. Another super cool week in PSVR stuff. It feels like it's been forever since the last episode, like a month, but it's only been a week. That was Thanksgiving last episode we did. Good episode.
Yeah, so you still playing Holoball?
That was the last episode we were talking about that. You're talking about the exploit that was in there. It's basically, with one paddle, grab the ball, and then with the other one, just hit it and just don't let go to where you still have it. And your computer opponent doesn't, thinks you're still holding on to it, so it doesn't bother to go and block the ball. And then you just ace it every time. After I tried that, I hadn't played a whole lot since then. I have one more trophy to get in there, which is the Zen trophy, which is hit the ball 100 times. But I wanted to give my body a break first because I damn near wrecked myself last time. I mean, my legs are hurting. I had the tennis elbow. That and there's just so many other things to play that it got sat on the back burner. I'm totally stoked when the multiplayer comes out, but Holoball, not so much.
Yeah, the developers commented on my video I put up about the exploit, so sorry guys, we had to take it down. I'm going to put it back up after they fix the exploit. They just don't want to ruin the leaderboards, and it really, after you learn that exploit, it's really hard to keep playing that game. So
it is. I want to go back just for the exercise aspect of it, but it's there's so much else going on. Yeah, that was funny. You put that video up, and I think the video was 10 or 15 downloads, and Tree Fortress was already can you please take this down? And we complied. We're good guys. I mean, we put the exploit out there, and then they did that. We don't want to piss off the game developers too much right now. We're trying to get them to give us free stuff so we can review it, so we don't have to spend all of our money on the podcast and try and get those things going on. But no, I'm spending all my money on freaking pinball. I bought all the tables. It's just, I think it's ridiculous. Do we want to start and talk about new releases right away? Because I'm itching to talk about Pinball VR.
Yeah, I want to talk about the user Shah Evana lost a beautiful 60-inch TV due to Holoball, so he hasn't figured out the exploit apparently. But yeah, we could talk about your pinball right now if you want to do that.
Yeah, dude was playing with his PS Move, and he didn't have the wrist strap on there, and he's going crazy and launched his Move into the television and broke it. Very reminiscent of the Wii days, back in the yachts when the Wiis were It's hey, you don't need a TV anymore. You have a PSVR now. You got the headset. No, but that sucks. That's our PSA for the PSVR. Can we call them PS? How would that work? PSA VR. There we go.
PSA VR.
New segment. PSA VR. Wrist straps. Yeah, because you're going to be blind. You can't see what's going on. Totally sad. But that's the way you get up to 200 upvotes in a subreddit. Is, hey, I broke my television. People love that kind of stuff. Everybody upvotes that. If only upvotes, were money.
Yeah, seriously. So, pinball, how are you liking it?
Oh my God. I mean, I've talked about it in the last couple of podcasts, and I talk about it in the Facebook page and everything. I love pinball games, and virtual pinball games are as close as you can get to the real thing. Stern put out some VR pinball on the Gear VR, which is the one with the phone. If you don't know what a Gear VR is, you put your phone into a HMD. Anyways, that they had one good table that ran smoothly, and that was the Frankenstein table. And then they had a Star Trek table that ran like crap, and a Star Trek Troopers that ran like crap. And another table was like Ripley's, which was okay, but it wasn't exactly, a fun table. I don't know why. But when the PSVR was going to have some and Pinball FX came out, I was totally stoked. So I went and I picked, I wanted to get it the early release like other people got, but I had to wait for the regular release. Picked it up that morning. I've been playing it a lot. My forearms actually hurt from hitting those triggers, because you're just hitting the triggers and it's just the one finger, and my arms actually hurt now. I'm having to take a break.
Did you see that jig that the guy made?
Yeah,
the pinball.
I saw that, and first I was like, "Oh, that's really cool." The dude, went and got himself some remote control car. What do they call those? It starts with an M, not macro, micro, whatever they are. The little things that you can control motors with.
It was a Raspberry Pi. He got a Raspberry Pi. He set it up. Pretty much overkill for what he was trying to do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's you take the controller and you set it inside of a box, and then the Raspberry Pi controls the motors. So if you hit the button, then it hits the triggers. And the first thing I thought was like, that's cool. And the second thing I thought is it's going to add just that little bit extra lag to the button presses. And with pinball, you don't want any lag at all.
It looks like he set it up to have like pretty much like zero latency. If you look at this video, I can't tell any, but I'm not a robot, so I can't really see.
I can see it.
How it is. You can see it.
It's slight.
Okay. Well, anyway, it's user Scott Orange. Use Scott Orange on Reddit. I think I would buy that. I would buy that. I wonder how much I'd pay for that. Maybe like $40, but a Raspberry Pi probably costs more than that. People were mentioning that he should use the. There's another type of thing that you could automate stuff. I forget what it's called. Arduino? Yeah. Yeah, I think that's a cheaper little controller like thing.
Yeah, the Arduino
computer.
The Raspberry Pi is like the $35 computer you can get. The Arduino is meant more for robot control kind of stuff. So it's a board you can actually add. You can have both of them together, but it's just meant to control robots, simple kind of stuff without a ton of computer processing, just handling robot stuff. It's cool. I love the do-it-yourself robots and computers. I have a Raspberry Pi myself, and I have a chip. I have the little chip handheld thing I paid $50 for and spent 15 minutes playing with because it's pretty bad. But yeah, with the pinball, I got all the tables, and on the Wizard challenge, I'm like number 6, and like the overall score, I'm number 9 or number 8 globally. So I'm like really happy about that. I know it's not going to last long because I'm an early adopter, and there's the player base is small, but enjoy all of the tables. I think I like the Ocean Descent one the most, and the Mars one the least.
There's an Ocean Descent one, like from VR Worlds?
Not Ocean Descent. It's
just the Ocean-y one.
No, I'm mixing my VR games in. Yeah, it's the depths thing. I want to call it Terror from the Deep, but then I'm like, that's like an old XCOM game. This is what happens when you get into your 40s, even though I'm just in my early 40s. Your brain has so much information that it can't disseminate which is which when you start mixing things up. When you got like 13 different video games that involve the word ocean, you have difficulty getting the one right.
Yeah, I can't wait till I'm old enough to just like be spouting off stuff that nobody knows, like what it is. I don't know what that stuff is, man.
Yeah, but
old stuff.
Other than that, the other releases, talking about old stuff, the Crystal Rift has come out. Which is like an old school Dungeon Master game. That's what everybody's talking about, the old DOS game Dungeon Master. First person perspective dungeon crawler where all the walls are like the stone walls and all the skeletons are kind of goofy and there's mummies and blobs and weird crystal things. And did you watch any of the gameplay videos or did you pick that up yourself?
I didn't pick it up yet. It's pretty cheap though. I was thinking about getting it yesterday and to get ready for this podcast, but I'm looking at my bank account and it's pretty abysmal. I'll be in debt for a while. But but it looks really cool. It looks like they fixed their way that they fixed the locomotion, and then it's a grid based thing. So you pick left, right, behind you, or in front of you, and you go one square. So have you picked it up?
No, same thing with you. I think I talked about it before. Whenever I want like 3 things, I'll only buy like 2 of those 3 things. Because if you buy everything, then you just don't have time to play it and enjoy it. So I'll wait for things to go on sale or cross my fingers and hope it shows up on the PS Plus, free games or included games or whatever, which we'll talk about that later too. I'm mad about Hypervoid, but the only thing about Crystal Rift that I really like is that you can build your own dungeons. You can
really?
You can build your own dungeons, write your own notes, make your own traps, and do all of that kind of thing. It looks kind of goofy. They have like a lot of like jump scares, but they're like, here's a ghost that comes flying through you, just like all of a sudden, kind of stuff. I don't know. I watched PSVR Frank, who's pretty active in the subreddit. He makes videos, and he was playing it, and it seemed pretty lame. It didn't seem terribly exciting. Just poisoning skeletons with your sword and then whacking them and running around dungeons, and I don't know. It doesn't really appear that appealing to me. If it had some outdoor environments, yes, but all indoor underground,
Yeah, is it move enabled? Like, does your sword move with you?
No.
Does it look like it doesn't look like it?
No, it's button presses. It's button. Your sword just kind of swings around and doesn't quite make contact, and things just kind of fade away. You get a couple spells. I can see this thing getting better once they add some content packs on there. It'd be awesome if it's something that you can even go so far as to add your own custom art into it. That would be kind of cool. That would make it. But I don't know. It seems very MS-DOS-y kind of a game, and I'm not into that kind of retro. My retro was like 8-bit, 16-bit, Super Nintendo games, but not DOS.
Yeah, I was thinking about picking it up just because they priced it pretty accordingly for what it is. It's only like $13 or something like that.
Yeah, $12.99, but still, you gotta budget. You gotta make choices. You can't get everything that's new.
Yeah, that's I'm learning this. Yeah, so I bought 2 games for the flash sale that happened for Black Friday. Mm-hmm. And did you buy anything from the Black Friday flash sale?
The Black Friday flash sale, that's when I got Bound. And what else did I get? I got something else. Bound I'm liking less and less the more I play. It's just too much of an experience and not enough of a game. And there's like this one level that you gotta like I die like constantly. I went from not dying at all to where I can't get past this one point because you got to duck under this thing and you got to roll and then you got to jump, and it screws up your perspective in VR. Like, it's impossible in VR, this one little section. But what else did you get?
So I got Carnival Games VR. It was on sale. It was half off. This game looked like it wasn't worth $20, but it was worth $10 to me.
Yeah.
And it seems like it has 15 to 20 games inside the game, like little things. It's all move controller based, so you can use 2 move controllers. And one of the aspects of the game I absolutely love, is the rock climbing mini game. Yeah. Oh my gosh. Yeah, you could go as fast as you could go, as fast as you can move your arms. That's a big workout for me. So like, you're trying to get to the end and grab the crown. Once you grab the crown, your time stops, and you're trying to beat your time every time. I want a whole game of just the rock climbing part of that game. It's really fun. And there's ring toss, carnival games, throw the ball at the milk jugs and everything. That's fun. And you just compete for scores and everything. It's worth $10. If it ever goes on sale again, somebody should pick it up, or if they put down the price. I like the Carnival Games VR. That game's fun. And then I picked up one flat game, Virginia, and this is #Danthal was right. So last time you were talking about Overwatch in VR when you're playing in cinema mode, and how your game fills in, like your brain fills in like the 3D effect, and I thought you were crazy. I didn't know what you were talking about. You're saying other people say this too. I'm like, okay, Danthal, all right. I was like, okay, I believe you, not really. And then I loaded up Virginia, and this game, you're first person. You're an African American woman who's in the FBI, and it's kind of like a walking simulator, but it works really well in the cinema mode in VR. And I did not believe you at all, but #Danthal was right. It fills in 3D. It really feels like it's 3D when you're playing this game in VR. Have you heard this from anybody else about this game?
Not about Virginia. I did see somebody else posting that on their on the Reddit. They're talking about how the game was really good in cinema mode. I can't recall whether or not they're talking about the 3D effect, but I have seen other people since post that kind of thing, that cinema mode will do that. For me, it's mostly menus. Like, menu screens will do that for me. They'll seem 3D even though they're not. I know, like, it feels like the black background is further back and the text is further up. I don't know what it is. But yeah, I still play a fair amount of Overwatch, and that gets me. But
Now, do you get that on your Vita? Because it might be an OLED screen. Do you feel like your Vita is kind of 3D a little bit because it's OLED, the deeper blacks at all?
I haven't, no. But
No. Oh, okay. Or do you not have the OLED Vita? Do you have
I
like
have
the new Vita?
No, I have the old school Vita. I got off Craigslist. Good deal. But yeah, I've never experienced that with the Vita. Only with the VR headsets, watching that kind of content.
Yeah, when YouTube was on the Vita, I kind of did. It was just the colors are so great on the Vita. If you're watching any videos on the Vita, it's just like, oh my, that OLED screen is just beautiful. I love it. Yeah.
Other new releases, just to close that out. How We Soar came out, and I've watched a couple gameplay videos of that. Haven't picked that up either. That one I totally feel is going to be, a sale game, or eventually a plus game or something like that. So I'm going to hold out a little bit longer. People who have played it really seem to like it. Some people think it's the best experience that they have on the PSVR. I think they might not have played enough of other things to kind of get there. But it looks like you're just flying on the back of a phoenix and going through the hoops. And then when you go through the hoops, it might make something happen. And every once in a while, a British guy talks to you, and everything's like pages out of a book that are folded up to look like things. And if you get a little bit closer, maybe the pages change color. It seems really chill. It doesn't seem like it has a lot of, gameplay kind of elements to it.
Yeah,
beyond
it's more of
flying
an
through
experience.
hoops.
Yeah, that game looked like it took a lot of inspiration from Tearaway. Have you played Tearaway at all?
I haven't played Tearaway, but I've
your kids would love it. I like Tearaway on the Vita and the PS4. I platinum it on the Vita, and I'm trying to platinum it on the PS4, but the VR is taking up my whole life, so I don't know if I'll ever get to that. But yeah, it looks like it took a lot of inspiration from Tearaway. Tearaway is a fully papercraft world, and yeah.
Other than that, today, when I went into the store, I saw that Oh My Genesis added a new planet.
What?
Yeah.
Really?
They added a new planet, and it's $3.99.
Oh,
and
another $3. Okay.
Yeah, another $3 is what they're doing now. I guess that's going to be their model, is charge you $3 a planet. So they have one. I should have wrote down the name of the planet. I want to call it Dagobah, but it's not Dagobah. It's something like Dagobah. But that's out on the store now for another $3. I'm pretty sure. Oh, well, it didn't look like you had to buy the original Oh My Genesis. I'll have to research a little bit. But those are the new releases.
Well, I saw you playing Final Fantasy 15 yesterday.
Mm-hmm.
How are you liking that?
Final Fantasy 15 is it's a pretty solid game. I'm getting used to the combat. The combat, when you start off, feels kind of chaotic, like you're just doing some button mashing, not know what's going on. I tried it out with the PSVR headset on, and I enjoyed a little bit of it, but because the game's not really designed for it, it does a lot of the herky-jerky moving around. When an object comes in front of you, it jumps and it pushes. And not being able to see the entire screen, having to like look around and see what's going on is disorienting.
Did you not put your screen down to like medium?
I didn't
keep it on large?
Well, there's mine's medium still is the big one. There's it must be large. There's the one that's the smallest one, and that doesn't move in your headset, and you can see 100% of it. But I don't like the way that it stays fixed in your vision, no matter how your head is moving. So I can't do that mode of it. So I don't think I'm going to be playing a ton of it with the VR headset on. I think most of it's just going to be flat screen. The VR add-on content is supposed to be coming December-ish.
Yeah, I'll buy it then. I'll buy it after that comes out.
That's when they're going to be adding the other patches on there for the additional performance enhancements for 4K TVs and the frame rate enhancements for the PS4 Pro. So the Pro patch is going to be coming out December, and the VR patch I think is going to be coming just about the same time. It'll be interesting to see. On my little monitor, I can't tell the difference between the high graphics mode and the light mode. They both look the same to me. I can't. I think if I play a little bit more, I might be able to see it. We'll see how much the patch improves it. But it's a pretty game. It's fun. I'm enjoying it. I'm like about 3.5, 4 hours in, and just starting to get to the meat of the story. Doing some of the side quests and fishing and cooking and stuff like that.
Yeah.
The fishing is actually legit. Other games like the fishing is very much a throw your bobbin in there, it catches it, you push a button or whatever, and then you catch the fish and you're done. This is a little bit more in depth, so I think the fishing might actually be fun. I did a lot of fishing in World of Warcraft, but it was goofy stuff.
Yeah, when you play the games in cinema mode for the VR, I really recommend using the medium screen, the middle one, because it still has the head tracking and you get to see basically the whole screen. Sometimes the corners are cut off, but you can see the whole screen, and the faux 3D effect that you mentioned is more pronounced on the medium screen.
Okay.
So, yeah, try those games out on medium, the Virginia, and I want to see what you say from the medium screen on Final Fantasy 15. But there's got to be a lot of small text in that game. I'm guessing. I haven't seen too much gameplay.
It's
but
readable.
It is readable. Oh, okay, that's the hardest thing.
The menus and stuff like that aren't too bad. Most of it, when you're in conversations, it's all audio, and I'm not skipping them. I'm enjoying it. The voice acting isn't horrible, so that's good. Other ones that's been kind of rough, but they don't have the bad like Final Fantasy X kind of voice acting. It's much better.
Yeah, so Ubisoft, big news from Ubisoft and their VR content.
One more thing, just because I wanted to, I was tying it in with like Slice and I both put up our own show notes, and sometimes they don't include. We missed this last week. Is rest in peace, VRIDEO.
Oh yes, yeah. I wanted to.
This is new releases, and this is the first death of the system here. The first app that didn't make it.
Yeah, I kind of wanted to tie that into the other kind of bad news, the negative news kind of part. So VRIDEO's gone. When you boot it up, it says there's nothing there anymore. You can't do anything.
Yeah.
You're just sitting there looking at the screen. Says we're down. Go to our website. That's sad. A lot of people like to just waste their time in there and find new videos, upload videos. I wonder if the porn thing had anything to do with their demise.
Yeah, from what their website said, they just ran out of money. They had a couple $1 million to start off with. I think they just started a little bit too soon. I think they launched too soon and burnt through it before they had any way to make money. I don't know. They started off in the Gear VR days, like early, and then started pushing other content. And I don't know. I think it's weird that their app is still on the store. You can still go on the store and get it and add it. They might have taken it off since, but it's sad that the first video app that is a user content video app is gone already. Somebody else will fill the void. I played a little bit more with the Little Star Cinema, and there's some okay videos in there.
Yeah, I think maybe somebody bought their IP and they just don't want to like a competitor. Maybe Google bought them out or something.
That would have been their best bet. You always want to get bought by Google. That's good money.
Seriously.
What was the other bad news that you're going to tie into that? We'll do that, then we'll go to Ubisoft.
The bad news. So it's not really bad news because it's manufactured from SuperData. So SuperData, they put out their analytics that they were forecasting for the PSVR sales before it was out. They said it was going to reach 2.5 million in the first year, and now they're forecasting, was it 75K?
Yes.
750K now.
Something like that.
And they're calling it a, what are they calling it? They're calling it the biggest loser in sales.
Oh, God.
It's ridiculous. From here, user on Reddit, you the hoser, you underscore hoser, you underscore hoser. Sorry. He says SuperData is disappointed that the number they pulled out of their butt was wrong, but instead of blaming themselves, they blame the product. Okay. Yeah. I think he's correct. This is ridiculous. This is their own numbers. This is their own analytics. They're saving their own butt, So, and some of the comments on the SuperData website is, it's the VG247.com. That's the website that put out this article from SuperData.
Right.
Some of the users, like Javier, told you VR crap was going to flop, LOL. Here's Adrian. There's a shock. Fad just like 3D TVs. And geez, these guys just don't get it. You know what? I was these guys talking about how bad VR was going to be, how it was going to be like the Vita, how was it going to be like 3D TVs before I tried it. This is the only product, like when you try a 3D TV, it doesn't make you want to go out and buy it. But when you try VR, you put it on your head, you have to buy it. It's like it's in your list of things to buy. Even if, like, my friend, he gets motion sickness and stuff, and he's that's the only reason he's not buying it right now. But it's still in his list of things that he wants.
Mm-hmm.
So it's not going to just fade out. These guys don't know what they're talking about because they probably haven't tried real VR. Another reason for these lowered analytics is probably because. Did you go to the stores at all for Black Friday? Did you go to any of those Black Fridays?
I did not. I stayed in the house.
Okay.
I don't participate in that kind of thing. I'll check some online deals and stuff like that, but for TVs and stuff, it's always last year's model TV and other kind of stuff. I'm not terribly interested in saving too much money with all the effort and everything you have to go through. I'll go shopping when it's time to go shopping.
So something that was like really disappointing to me at the retailers that I went to for Black Friday, there's like these huge features of just $10 VR headsets, and then at like Best Buy, and then Best Buy would have their huge features of the $10 VR headsets, and then they would also have right next to it the expensive Oculuses and stuff, and
right.
People would be like, oh, I could get this $10 VR thing. This other thing over here is $600. Why would I? It's just, they think all VR is the same. And these $10 VR headsets that fit into any phone or the Gear VR, they're muddying the waters.
Absolutely.
So they're making the install base for this first gen tech really low, and it's going to destroy the opinions of some people, especially when they try it and they're like, this isn't that great. I had to explain to some of these people that were trying to buy that thing. I was trying to talk to them. Oh, you just got to try real VR. If you try this, it's like putting your foot in the water. It's not the whole thing.
Right.
And the salespeople there weren't jiving with that. They're like, no, buy all this. Buy this one. They weren't trying to upsell at all. So, yeah. So what do you think about that? What do you think about those?
I think VR is the same kind of on the same tech path as drones are. You can get, the $600 Parrot drone, the nice one with the cameras, and you can get great video. And that is, an expensive hobbyist kind of thing to do. And then you have all the other not $10 drones. Well, there's some of them, but drones that are more like, $50, $75, $100 kind of things. And you might get enough fun out of it if you're going to be doing it for an afternoon. But there's definitely people that use drones and do like competitive drone racing. Or they use it for photography or other things like that. So it's you have this one base of consumer that wants the most expensive drone, the fastest drone. They get replacement parts, and that's like a big part of what they do. And then the others that are just like, I want to play with them, and I'm done. And I think a lot of people, I see this in the subreddits and other places. People get in the PSVR and expecting it to be everything they ever dreamed of, and they're going to be using this exclusively all of the time. And it's like, I don't know. Definitely the VR headsets that you just slide your phone into, people are going to have a little bit of fun with it. They might go far enough to get like some of the better cardboard apps that you can get for it. And have fun with that. They might go in and find one of the videos like Viewmaster actually has one or two good ones that are out there. There's one on the Little Star Cinema called Black Friday Experience, and you don't think it'd be fun, but then you watch it and it's actually kind of fun because there's things going on all around you, and you're in a store on a Black Friday. It's completely staged, actors, giant snowmen, and all kinds of stuff going on.
Do you get trampled?
Other people get trampled. Yeah, there's a little bit of that.
Really? There's like violence in it? That's crazy.
Just a little bit. There's like the giant snowman comes in and it gets dark and there's alerts and sirens and people going nuts and everything like that. It was a fun little thing. I think if some people get the little VR headsets and find some of the half decent content that's out there, they might want to get into the PSVR. But you're right. It's absolutely muddying the waters. I was listening to another podcast and they were talking about it. Yeah, my mom came home and got my little cousin a VR headset, and I haven't checked it out yet, and I don't know what it is. And it's like, oh, you're a gaming podcast. You should know what these things are. It's not the best gaming podcast, but it's still one of my favorites because they're goofy. But yeah, people are, the little kids are going to be opening these things up Christmas morning, and then they're going to find out they need to put mom's phone in there, and it's not going to be the best experience, and it's going to sour it for other people coming up. But it's a cash grab. It happens. Whatever.
Yeah, we just gotta evangelize harder, right? I mean, like, we got a podcast. What else more could we do? You know, I mean,
well, we got the podcast, we got the Facebook, we got Twitter, we got the web page with your Riggs review up there. People really seem to like that Riggs review. That's great.
Yeah, we actually got a fan mail from that from James here, from Jimmy. He says, "Hi, I was gonna try to do a British accent, but like." It just came out Australian, so I'm not going to do that. Yeah, no, I'm not going to be able to do that. I should be able to do a British accent, but I watch enough Doctor Who, but I just can't. I just can't seem to do that. So it says, "Hi guys, you have a new subscriber over here in rainy Wales." He says, parentheses, "UK, not a large town in England, as some people think." Yeah, I thought Wales was a large town, so but I guess it's not. He says, "I am from the hometown of Catherine Zeta-Jones. I heard she dips beneath the lasers." Well, anyway, that's the reference from Workaholics. If you've ever seen that show, it's hilarious.
Okay.
So anyway, that's the only thing I know Catherine Zeta-Jones from. Yeah. So anyway, he says Anthony Hopkins and Sheen Martin are also from there. So anyway, loved your podcast, episode 3. Going to go back over the other episodes at his work, I guess. He says, what I like was your Riggs review and the structure of it. Top marks for the review. It made me buy it as I was sitting on the fence. So yeah, just email us back. You could actually email me. I'm going to put my email up on the subreddit. So whenever I do a review, you could email me. Whenever Danthal does one, you can email him. So he had to forward this to me for me to get it. So he says, "Cheers, guys, and thank you. Kind regards, Jimmy." So yeah, I'm actually. I'm really happy that somebody liked my review. I put a lot of thought into the structure of how I'm going to be reviewing VR games, and because we need to create a new gaming medium structure. What?
No, I'm just saying. No, the review. Definitely. I like the review too. You gave that game a 98 out of 100. That's pretty bold.
It's the best on the platform. I think it's the best VR game on the platform. Like it's done what I want. It's done the most of what I wanted a VR game to do. There's no other VR game on the system right now that's came close to giving me a full experience as much as. That's why I titled it Riggs MCL. It stands really for Mechanized Combat League, but I called it Most Complete Launch Title. So yeah. That's the bar right now. You got to set your bars for the new medium. Riggs is the high bar. Maybe the sales aren't showing that, but I think it should, honestly. But I think the only reason the sales aren't showing that is because of the terrible IGN reviews. They're saying, "Oh, it's a 6.5 out of 10 because it gave me motion sickness, so I couldn't really play it."
Yeah.
If you couldn't really play it, how are you going to review it? So,
are we going to get into IGN now? That's a good segue to talk about IGN, because a lot of people are hating on IGN for just not giving VR the appropriate attention that it needs.
Yeah, they're a huge influencer. They have the power to destroy this new tech, you know, and I want to kind of fight back against them. IGN, they helped me get into video games, and I tried not to stay into their little echo chamber there. If you ever go to the IGN comments, it's really bad. It's really bad over there. So whenever I would find IGN something, I would take their review, stick it into Reddit, and find the comments on Reddit for the review or something, you know, or any article that's on there, because to see what people actually think. So, I'm really going from one echo chamber to another, but I try to critically analyze a lot of stuff. So
yeah, I've definitely seen that out there. People are like, IGN just doesn't give VR the attention it needs, and it's IGN is very much a revenue generating webpage. They're there to make money. They're there to sell advertising. And they want to sell advertising for Final Fantasy 15 and Titan 2 and Titanfall 2 and, you know, call it like all these games that totally don't need the advertising. That's what they're focusing on. They want to talk about the things that everybody is playing, and the little guys, you know, these games that are only going to sell 10,000 units are like, we don't care. We're not going to review it, which is fine. Whatever. That leaves room for us. At least, you know, the people are going to be like, well, IGN sucks. Let's find a good web page or podcast to listen to, and we hope it attracts them to us, where we talk almost exclusively about it. We get out of the VR a little bit because, you know, it's there. It's the PlayStation. You still got good games coming out.
Yeah, for my next review, I kind of want to see what review. Well, I want to know what people are sitting on, what fence they're sitting on. If you could tell me what game you would want me to review, if you don't know if you want to buy it, let me know, and if I don't have it, I'll buy it and review it. So tweet at us at PSVRLIFE. And tell me what you want me to review, and I'll do it in the same structure too. Are you planning on reviewing anything, Danthal?
I got some things that I want to. I want to play World War Toons a little bit more. That being still the only first person shooter game that's out there. So I think I'm going to get something written on that here soon. It's difficult because there's just so many games to play, but I'm going to need to take breaks from Pinball FX and Final Fantasy 15 for a while. So I think I want to get that up there. I don't think that game gets the attention that it deserves. I maybe like an Eagle Flight kind of thing coming on. I want to see what happens with the new Eagle Flight stuff that they're going to be coming out with soon.
Didn't the developers contact us and give us some codes to give out?
Yeah, we'll do that next week.
Next week. Oh, I've been telling people this week. Okay.
We're gonna have, because I don't have a review written up. But yeah, next week. So this is a teaser now. That's even better. Next week we'll have a more complete review of World War Toons, and we'll be giving out some codes. We got codes to give away. We'll give them out on our Twitter and on our Facebook and on the webpage. And you can get some stuffs there. But Ubisoft, you were talking about that at the beginning of the show. I think it might be time to transition to that, because more Ubisoft news. With
really big Ubisoft news. So
Eagle Flight and Bridge Commander and Werewolves Within are all slated to have multiplayer support with multi-platform. So we're going to be playing with people on the Vive and the Oculus. And my phone won't shut up.
Yeah. That's why I put everything on Do Not Disturb. Just don't disturb me, technology. Don't do it. So this is actually Ubisoft put out a corporate-wide mandate that all their VR games are going to be cross-platform, and that's really good for the player base of the multiplayer. They're doing a lot of multiplayer, so yeah. Anytime you do that, the more people you have. In the pool, the faster you could get into games, which is something we really need right now, at least for the start of this new tech. So, yeah, you can see it with Eagle Flight already. Have you booted up Eagle Flight and went into the multiplayer yet?
There was a community event, and I went and I played on the community event, and far more players were on at that time.
Did you play with the PC players?
No, it wasn't PC players. This was a Reddit community event kind of thing.
Okay. Yeah, no, I booted up yesterday just to talk about it on the podcast, and yeah, they already updated it. It's cross-platform right now, so you can go in and play with people playing on their Vives or the Oculuses, and you could talk trash to them and everything. Say, oh, I got a PSVR. I feel it has a better screen. You just get into those little battles online. It's fun. Everybody likes to talk about how they I talked to one Oculus user and he was saying how he actually does like the PSVR screen better and the subpixel stuff, so it's cool to see like people noticing how like the Fresnel lenses aren't good for VR and everything. So like even though they invested in an Oculus, they still see that what Sony is doing for future maybe a future Oculus, future Vive,
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah, the second generation stuff when it starts coming out should be interesting. Higher resolution. I'm sure the subpixel thing like they have on the PSVR will be prevalent because it looks good. And,
if they didn't patent it,
yeah,
I don't know if Sony's patented that technology.
I don't know. When that'll happen, and developers now are starting to figure out how to basically to condense the resolution for what's in the middle of the screen kind of thing. So like when you're playing games, you'll have like a focus point, and that's going to be the high resolution part. And then everything like around the edges and everything, they don't have to put as much processing power in. So I think developers will start to work with new game engines that help enhance that kind of thing, really bump that frame rate up. And, the screens are going to be better. The lenses are going to be better. The sound's going to be better. The sound's really good right now. The PSVR sound, I love. I love how good it sounds when with the 3D effect. Even in cinema mode.
Even in cinema mode, I was going to mention, playing the Virginia, the audio was just amazing in that game. It was 3D audio while you're sitting there in VR. Like if I played it just on the TV, I wouldn't get that audio experience. So I really like the 3D audio for everything. It's amazing.
Yeah, but beyond that, with the Ubisoft, they're also condensing some of the regions in there. So if you have the EU region and the Asia region and the America region, and they're all kind of like slim, there's not much there, they'll pull things together. So Eagle Flight, that'll work. Star Trek and Werewolves Within, probably not. I can see like EU users and American users, no big deal. Australian users, no big deal. But if those are going to be games that are very much based on the language you're speaking, those are Bridge Crew. You're going to be doing a fair amount of talking, and Werewolf is 95% talking. But we'll see what they come up with. I'm excited to see what kind of stuff Ubisoft is able to do with it. It's all good.
So Danthal, I have a new segment. Okay. And it works well with our name. Okay, it's PSVR Life Hacks. All right.
Okay.
So this is the problem that I had before I bought the PlayStation VR. All right.
Yes.
I listen to a lot of podcasts. Okay. So a lot of podcasts, and I love listening to podcasts when I'm playing my games. So I thought when I got the VR, I wouldn't be able to listen to podcasts as well, because I want the 3D audio. I want to listen to the game and be immersed in it. But what I've done is I take my Apple EarPods right here, and I plug them into my phone, and then I listen to podcasts, and then I put the world's audio around my ears with the over-the-ear Sony Gold headset over the PSVR. So it's amazing. I was playing Eagle Flight for hours and hours just trying to get that platinum. I'm still trying to get it. I'm really close. I've just have like 12 stars left out of all 129 stars, and wow. Just 12 stars. Then I got to do the multiplayer. That's going to take the longest, I think.
Yeah.
But anyway, so just hours and hours of listening to podcasts, playing Eagle Flight. I'm a bird with listening to podcasts with the world and the music around me. That is, or you could listen to your own music or whatever, but you already got the Spotify and the PS4, so you wouldn't really need that. But specifically for podcasts, if you're listening to this podcast, you love podcasts, try this out. You put your earbuds in, the little in-ear ones, skull candies or whatever, and then you put on over-the-ear headphones over that, and it's my favorite life hack for the PSVR so far. You got to try this, Danthal. You got to try it. It's amazing. You're a bird listening to podcasts. It feels like you're a bird with you're putting earbuds into the bird's ears. It's awesome. You guys got to try this.
I'll check that out. I did a little bit of that. I have some of the problems with the audio cutting in and out. Have you had that happen yet? Where you're just playing the game and the audio cuts out and it's weird and it's not like a connection thing. It's just a software thing.
For me, no, not at all. Any problems, whenever I have any problems with tracking or anything, what I do is I turn off, I did have the audio cut out once and I was scared. Yeah. So what I did was I immediately held down the PS button and then turned off the PS4, waited 3 minutes, and the PSVR, turn off the PSVR too. First I turn off the PSVR, and then I turn off the PS4, wait 3 minutes, boot up the PS4, set the PSVR on the ground, turn it on, wait 1 minute, and then it works fine. All tracking issues, all audio issues are fine. So it has something to do with the way the own VR, the own VR OS, it's like an invisible OS because it gets updated, but we can't really see it. I think it has something to do with that, talking to the PS4. So
There's been multiple people that are reporting HoloBall will do that. HoloBall will have some audio cutout issues. You'll be playing and the audio will cut out and then it'll come back in. That's what I was saying with the earbuds and the headphones. I'll do that because the headphones will still work. I have, but not the earbuds that are plugged into the VR, but the headphones that are plugged into the PlayStation 4, because that's how I have it configured. But yeah, I don't know where I was going with that. But that's good. Definitely, yeah. Listen to our podcast while you're playing your games, because these are longer podcasts, which is fine. It seems like people like the longer form kind of stuff.
Yeah, I think it's before we started this podcast, you wanted to make it like 25 minutes podcast and everything. I was like, oh, I want to have a discussion about this stuff.
I was like, let's do news. We do news back and forth 25 minutes so people can listen to it on their commute. And it's just not going to be like that. It's going to be like every other video game podcast. We're going to get long-winded and go on forever, and you'll love us for it.
Yeah, I think the reason for this is a lot of this is younger people that are into video games, and people who play video games, that they're listening to the podcast while they're playing video games, so they have a lot more time to do it. They're not trying to get the political news or anything real quick before they get to work, So
with the last week episode, I was telling you about the 3D effect when there's no 3D in the headset. Another thing that I was experiencing that I think is one of those kind of universal, everybody kind of gets it, VR blindness.
Yeah, what is this? I have this in my notes too. I have this in my notes, and I don't know what it is.
You don't know what it is?
I forgot.
It's
the whole.
It's the sensation of having the VR headset on, but wanting to get something like on the ground or on the table or on a desk or wherever else is in front of you, and you're moving your hands around and you're like batting things. It's like you're looking like, where is it? Oh, where's the controller? Where's my Move controller? You don't want to take off the VR headset, but you know something is there in the real world, and instead of pushing it forward and looking for it, it's the whole motion of looking for things or standing up and
with your hands, just feeling for stuff.
It's totally goofy. That
a way to get over this is, so basically, if you hold down the PS button while you're in a game, if you're in a VR game, and you go to the PSVR menu in the quick menu and you click confirm your position, you get the inverted stuff, which doesn't really help, the inverted camera feed. But if you first press the PS button to get back to the PlayStation 4 menu, the cross media bar, whatever they're calling it, if you press that first and then you check your position, you could see the real world your full camera color and everything. So that's what I do most of the time. Or I'll tell my girlfriend you gotta have a third party to help you out here.
No, but I'm totally starting to set up my desk. It's like, okay, I'm gonna set the cloth here, and the Move controllers here, and the headset over here. And I don't eat or drink when I'm using the headset at all, but I can imagine that day's coming where I'm not going to want to take it off, and there'll start to be VR-centric snack foods that you're going to get, things that won't, get a residue on your hand like Cheetos, and will be easy to eat. They were talking about that in Ready Player One, the book that you still haven't read that you need to, like
I'm
VR
going to read
foods.
It's in my shopping cart in the Amazon. The audio book Amazon thing.
Excellent.
Yeah.
Just
I'm
about
going to read it.
eating pizza and stuff like that, just VR foods. But I found myself now doing a lot of the, looking for things with my hands and setting them up and getting myself ready for the fact that I'm not going to be able to see what's going on around me. It's just a weird sensation.
So you mentioned you use a cloth to clean your lenses?
Yeah, I use the one that came with the thing itself, just the PlayStation cloth, the microfiber.
You have to invest in a lens pen, man.
Yeah?
Oh, man, it's so much better. I love my lens pen. I don't use the cloth anymore. Have you seen how it works at all?
Yeah, I've seen some people and they're talking about it and stuff like that. But for me, once you get it clean enough, you're good.
Yeah, they're like $2. It's just way better ease of use. When you use the cloth, the microfiber cloth, you're getting your oils from your hands onto the microfiber, so it has a potential to damage your unit. But if you use a lens pen, it's in there, and it's just it uses this carbon nano technology to clean your lenses, and it cleans itself when you put the cap back on and you screw it on. It cleans the thing, puts more of that carbon nano stuff onto there. So yeah, I like the lens pen. It makes VR cleaning way faster. And it's harder to lose than a little cloth that gets on the ground and collects crap. So yeah. I'll have to buy you one. I'll buy you one. I'll send you it. You have to give me your address. $2. All right. Anything else you want to talk about?
No, I mean, I think we've gotten pretty much through everything we wanted to talk about. VR or the PlayStation Plus games in December coming out here.
Yes.
They're going to have Invisible for the PlayStation 4 stories, Path of Destinies, Tiny Troopers Joint Ops, and Color Guardians for the Vita, and VVV. Those are all the games. Oh, and Hyper Void, which includes a free VR mode that I paid for. That I'm like, I paid for that, and now I would have gotten included.
You bought Hyper Void?
Yeah, I bought Hyper Void because it's like it was like way early when PSVR was new, and I was looking for content, and it kind of looked like a Tempest kind of game, and I thought it was good. The levels I played were fun. I played all the way up, I think, to like level 11, and then level 11 has this weird kind of thing to where you really have to twist and turn and put your look like impossibly. You have to twist your neck up, and it's not good. Like, you can't see your ship. Even if you look and twist all the way to look at your ship, you can't see really what's going on and shoot. So I played some of what I played. I really enjoyed, but it has the same problem as Bound. Is it wasn't designed to be primarily a VR game, so some of the camera views and stuff like that just don't work. It's unfortunate, but hey, for free, it's great. For $7, I think I paid for. It was okay.
Yeah, all of those games. Usually when the PlayStation Plus stuff comes out, I bought in half of the games. That's just how I roll, and just like. Now this is the best month for me because I have none of these games. I'm actually really happy. They must have looked through the sales data and found the games that like not many people were buying for the VR, and they just added that one on. I hope PSX is coming up in a week. Yeah, it's here it was in San Francisco a couple of years ago. I went to it. It was amazing. But I don't know if I'm going this year. I might have to work. But it's always right around my birthday. My birthday is Pearl Harbor Day, so it's like every time PlayStation Experience happens, I watch the keynote. I'm like, oh, it's like a birthday present for me. So yeah,
I'm most looking forward to seeing some more footage from Farpoint. Farpoint's the first person shooter coming out 2017. That's much anticipated, a lot of hype. So we'll see what they come up with.
Definitely have to get that. All right, so. Anything else here?
I think we got everything taken care of. Thank you from our Facebook comments talking about IGN. That was based on the conversation we had there. You can reach us on our webpage at psvrlife.com. Our Twitter is PSVRLife. Facebook is /groups/PSVRLife. You can call us on our voicemail line at 540-404-1376. We'll play the voicemail and answer your questions. But yeah, reach out to us. Let us know what you think of the show. We're on iTunes, so you can subscribe to us there. Please give us a review and 5 stars. We always appreciate that. You got anything else before we scoot out of here?
Nope. Just put on your headset and get a life.
Bye-bye.